All right, thank you guys. Everton takes on Aston Villa, 1 p.m. Eastern start time. Everton's plus 105. The total's 2.5, juice to the over. The draw's plus 270, and if you like Aston Villa, they're plus 270 for some money line cash. And following Wednesday morning's sports wagering action, we improved to 5-2 in our last 7 daily best play tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. And of course, that's a website where I sell sports picks beginning at just $1.99. We're also 4-2 in our last 6 board member tier package picks as well. For more information about getting access to these premium sports picks, the link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Aston Villa has won just 1 out of their last 12 matches, and they were held scoreless in 6 of those outings. They averaged just 0.67 goals per contest in their last 12 as well. Aston ranks 19th out of 20 teams in total goals allowed. They're also currently in 19th place out of 20 teams in the English Premier League. Aston's been victorious in only 8 out of 35 contests and ranks 13th in scoring. They are taking on an Everton club who's dropped just 4 out of their last 14, and that includes victories over Watford, Crystal Palace, and 4th place Leicester City, just to name a few. Everton's given up just 1 goal per contest on average in their last 6. When it comes to the scoring in this one, 2 out of their last 3 stayed under the total of 2.5 goals. 5 out of their last 8 also stayed under that number. Meanwhile, on the Aston Villa side, 4 out of their last 5 stayed under the 2.5 themselves. Give me Everton plus 105 and the under 2.5 in that match. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Thursday's international soccer action. But before we dive into some more of that, I just have to quickly remind you once again that following this morning's sports wagering action, following Wednesday morning's sports wagering action, we improved to 5-2 in our last 7 daily best plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. We're also 4-2 in our last 6 board member tier package selections as well. If you want some more information on how you can join in on the action, the link for that site is in the description section below. Once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. We'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. Moving on, we're going to take a look at Spanish La Liga. I'm talking about Mallorca taking on Granada, 3 p.m. East. Mallorca's plus 105, totals 2.5, draws plus 240. And if you like Granada in an upset, they're plus 250 to win this one outright. Granada's dropped just 1 out of their last 4, and that includes a 3-2 victory over 6th place Real Sociedad during that span. They also shut out Deportivo Alaves by the final of 2-0 during those contests as well. They also scored 8 total goals in those 4 matches. Granada's currently 14-14 on the season with 8 draws. They're just 4 points behind 6th place Getafe in the standings. They also rank 8th out of 20 teams in scoring on the season as well. They are taking on a Mallorca squad who's coming off a 2-0 shutout loss to Sevilla in their last outing. 9 out of their last 10 losses came by way of shutout. Mallorca is currently in 19th place out of 20 teams in Spanish La Liga, second to last place. They also rank dead last in total goals allowed. They're 9-22 on the season with 5 draws, and they also rank 14th in scoring. And speaking of the scoring, 3 out of Mallorca's last 5 got over the total of 2.5 goals. Meanwhile, Granada's last 3 straight got over that number themselves. 9 out of their last 14 got over that number as well. Give me Granada plus 105 and the over 2.5 in that contest. All right, next matchup, it is going to be an Italian Serie A. I'm talking about Torino versus Genoa, 1:30 p.m. Eastern start time. Torino's the plus 120 favorite, totals 2.5, juice to the over. The draw's plus 230, and if you like Genoa in an upset, they're plus 230 to win it. Now, Genoa's been victorious in only 1 out of their last 6, and that includes a 4-1 beatdown to 12th place Parma. They also gave up 13 total goals during that stretch. Genoa is currently in 16th place out of 20 teams in Italian Serie A. They're 7-16 on the season with 9 draws. They also rank 17th in total goals allowed. They're taking on a Torino squad who's scored 4 total goals in their last couple of contests themselves. They beat Brescia by the final of 3-1, along with shutting out Udinese by the final of 1-0 within their last handful of matchups. And when it comes to the total in this one, Torino's last 5 straight got over the total of 2.5 goals. 11 out of their last 14 also got over that number. Meanwhile, Genoa on the other side saw 8 out of their last 9 get over the 2.5 themselves. 13 out of their last 17 also got over the 2.5. Give me Torino plus $1.20 in the over 2.5 in that contest. All right, next and final matchup for the show. It's going to be in the English Championship. I'm talking about Leeds United taking on Barnsley, 12 p.m. Eastern start time. Leeds is the $3.50 favorite. No surprise there. Totals 2.5 juice to the over. The draw is plus 450. And if you like Barnsley in an improbable victory, they're plus 850 to get the job done. Now, Barnsley's winless in their last 3 straight, and that includes a humiliating 4-0 shutout loss to 18th place Stoke City. They were also held scoreless in 5 out of their last 8 matches. They averaged just 0.5 goals per contest during that stretch. Barnsley is currently in last place out of 20 teams in the English Championship, winners of just 10 out of 43 total contests. They also rank 19th out of 24 clubs in total goals allowed. They're taking on a first-place Leeds club who's lost just 1 out of their last 12, and that includes 8 shutout victories during that stretch. They held their opponents to just 0.41 goals per contest during those matches as well. Leeds is currently 25-9 on the season with 9 draws. They rank first in the league in goals allowed. Very good defensively. They're giving up just 0.79 goals per contest on the season. They also rank third out of 24 clubs in scoring. And when it comes to the total in this one, 2 out of Leeds' last 3 got over the total of 2.5 goals. Give me Leeds United -2 on the goal line and the over 2.5 in that contest. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. And from our Patreon platform, shout out to Chris Veros, Robert Morelli, August Weens, Stephen Madrid, Carlos Balderas, Jared Henderson, Jose Gonzalez, Ezekiel Morales, Frank Supa, and Valentin Anachili. Next, from our Instagram platform, shout out to Bubba Jonesy, Big Juice, 87 MP10, Zero Display, Elise Lucky, It's Official JR, shout out to Wackadoo, Ben Tanzini, Ty Matos, and Jeet Sharma. And finally, from our YouTube platform, shout out to Brandon Coffey, Nahi Pata, Vberry1923, Charles Turner, Hideki Hayatsu, The Rudy, Richard Adams, Zubian Ahmad, SOP Striker, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to my man, Zay Hill. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. And if you decide to, pull the trigger on Patreon, you decide, hey, I'm going to dive in and get one of these packages, get one of these memberships that Brock talks about so much in almost each and every video. I just want to give you a reminder that the way Patreon works is it's a crowdfunding site. I run the page, but it's not my website. It's a massive conglomerate crowdfunding company. It's very, very large. So they control all the billing and IT stuff. I just create the content. But anyway, if you decide to pull the trigger, they bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So there's an initial sign-up fee, and then you get billed on the first of every month following that. So if you were deciding to get a package here today, you're going to get billed today, and then you're going to get billed again on August 1st. And then following that, you get billed on the first of every month. So just want to make sure you were aware of that. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Wednesday or Thursday to you, depending on when you're watching this. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.